Hello, I am Thortrilisk, and welcome to The Challenges. You can access these by going to the campaign page, and then you'll go into Wings of Liberty, and then go to Challenges. Then it'll open up to this menu. Today I'm going to be doing the top 3, the basic, for each race, beginning with Terran. And I am going to be getting gold with all 3 of them. So these challenges essentially are trying to teach you counters to different units. And in order to get gold, it will require a little bit of micro. But it can be useful to do them when you start. Although some of the stuff it teaches you is not thoroughly accurate now, because this is based on Wings of Liberty mechanics.
Greetings, Commander. Your objective in this exercise is to use limited forces to defend 3 supply depots. The supply depots are widely spaced. You will need to split up your forces to create a guard detail for each one. You should attempt to form groups that will effectively counter the enemy units deployed against them. When you have completed your deployment, press the ready button to proceed.
Okay. So in the bottom left hand, right here, we have Mutalisks. In the top, we have a bunch of Zerglings, and in the middle left, we have a bunch of Banelings. So, let's look at what we have. We have some Marines, some Hellions, and a Siege Tank, as well as a Ghost. So I think the Siege Tank, the Marines are the only things that can shoot up, so they're going to have to go against the Mutalisk. Then, these Hellions are going to do really well against Zerglings, so I'm going to put them in that area. The Siege Tank, it'll do pretty well against Banelings. Pretty solid. And then we'll just send the Ghost over here with the Marines, because I think that's going to be the most difficult one to do.
Talk to me. Confirmed.
Okay. Now we shall begin. So for this one, you're going to want to go attack as far against him, like, you know, get as close to him as you can, and then just kite backwards. Oh, shoot. Yeah, there you go. Without losing anyone, you know, I want to say it shouldn't be that hard, but it kind of is, right? If you're not super used to micro, it's kind of difficult. Oh, what in the world? Oh. What the? Oh. Ah, whoopsies. I was pressing the wrong attack hotkey. That is kind of embarrassing, actually.
Sounds like a plan. You're on. By the numbers, boys.
Yeah, I'm not really going to do a whole lot of micro here. I'm not sure how to micro Marines against a bunch of Mutalisks. Alright, 4 units lost. That is manageable. I can definitely deal with that. Alright, round 2. In the bottom left, we have a bunch of Hydralisks. In the top left-ish, we have some Roaches. And then in the middle right, we have a Ultralisk. Okay. I should not say ready yet. I can't say ready yet. I have to use all my units. I'm going to do 2 Siege Tanks over here, along with the Ghost.
You sure about that?
And then we're going to send all of the Marauders over to deal with these Roaches. Although, in fairness, the Siege Tanks would be super good against Roaches. Siege Tanks are pretty good against anything on the ground. Then we're going to send the rest of the Siege Tanks over to the Hydralisks, and also send the Marines over there. I have to assume that it wants me to do this, right? Because there's no way 9 Marines are going to beat this many Hydralisks. No way. That would be ridiculous.
What's that?
And then we're going to send the medevacs over to help the Marines.
Will do, Command.
I think that should be everything, right? Yeah, these guys are definitely going to be able to take out the Roaches. Not super sure about the Siege Tanks, I'll be honest here. Not confident that that's the answer. But we'll see how it works. Might need more siege tanks than just 2.
First round's on me. Sure.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, that was bad. Alright, there we go. 1 loss. It's acceptable. It's manageable.
Come again. Deploying. Copy that. Sounds like a plan. Out with it.
There you go. Wow, that was... Yeah, I would not... I mean, I don't know. This dude's tough. We want to give him plenty of time to be healed up. The stim pack lasts for what, 10 seconds? Yeah, 10... No, how long? Okay, it just says a few. That is so useless. That is such a useless number. For a few seconds. Oh, thanks. That is not a number, really. It's a concept. Okay. Round 2, 1 unit lost. Dang. In fairness, I did do these a little bit ago, just to kind of, I don't know, see how well I would do. So this is not my first run. I figured out some micro tricks. Okay. Over here, we send the siege tanks, I think. Oh, I didn't go through the, where did shoot it was. In the bottom left, we have some mutalisks. I like throwing mutalisks. In the top middle left area, we have some broodlords and some zerglings. And then over here in the middle right, we have some hydralisks and roaches. Okay. So the siege tanks are going to be really good against hydralisks and roaches. And then the Thors are the... Thors do splash damage in an area against air units, so they're going to be really good against mutalisks who tend to stack up. These Vikings are going to be really good against the broodlords, and then the Hellions can take out the zerglings. And then the medevacs are going to go over here with the marauders. And I'm going to send the ghost over here as well. No,
Confirmed. Roger.
I'm not sure I want to send him with them. Yeah, we're going to send him over here.
You're on.
Okay. I am going to begin it now. So for up here, what you want to do is you'll want to send your Vikings in as fast as you can to just try to take out the broodlords before they can get to your Hellions. Because once broodlords get on top of ground units, not on top of them, but once they get to ground units, they're really good, but they can't shoot up. So, you know, send air units against them to destroy them before they can get to the ground units.
Time's a wasting.
Talk to me.
Say the word.
Now what?
There you go. 1 loss. Wow. Man, I could like lose most of these Thors and I'd be fine.
You sure about that?
Got something for me? No problem.
Go. Sounds like a plan. You're on.
Hey! Oh, that guy had 24 health left. Okay. There you go. That is the Terran challenges. Man, 6 losses. When I did this before, I got like 14 the first time I did it through, and then I had to retry one of them to get to 9. But 6. Oof. All right. Path of Ascension. The Protoss challenge. It runs essentially the same way as the Terran one. I'm going to skip the introduction because it basically says the exact same thing in just a Protoss way of talking. So we're just going to skip here. Okay, we're going to want to put these guys over here. Have them fight the Marines. Oh, yeah. Kept forgetting. Okay, in the top left we have some Hellions. Right here. Over here, in the top right, we have a bunch of Marines. And over here, in the bottom right, we have some Marauders.
Got a whole lot of love.
So, we're going to send the Colossi over here. I'm going to start them up on the cliff. I think it's just the best way to start them off. We are going to... No, go back. Go over here. Over there. This is probably an unnecessary amount of setup. But I just want to make sure that we're starting out exactly how we need to be to have maximum effect. Okay. Over here, then we're going to send the Stalkers to the Hellions because Hellions do bonus damage against light units. And Stalkers aren't light. So they'll be able to deal pretty well with them. And then when I'm fighting the Hellions, I'm going to be using mostly Blink Micro to try to keep them alive. And then we're going to send Zealots against the Marauders, as well as the Sentry. So the Sentry is kind of the extra guy that's like, whatever side you think is going to need more help, send him there. And the Zealots are kind of hard to keep alive, right? Because it's harder to do pullback micro with melee units. They don't have a whole ton of health, so I'm going to try creating some hallucinations and seeing how well that works for distracting the Marauders.
My meditation is over.
Alright, so the first fight is these Stalkers.
I am the heart of darkness.
And then just going to blink them back when they start getting lowish on health. And you don't want to wait till they're really low health, because then they might get hit by the splash damage from the other Hellions. Okay. And then here, mostly what you're doing is you're going to pull them back, because the Marines can't see to the high ground, so you're going to pull them back when they come. Can they see up to the high ground? Maybe they can't. Yeah, so apparently, I must have had them positioned weirdly last time I did this. You just have to make sure the pylon doesn't die. So push forward now to make sure they don't kill your pylon. Because if they kill the pylon, you have to restart. There you go. And if you're not so confident in your timing, we're going to make a couple of Archons to go up here and try to soak the shots. At least allow the Zealots to close in before the Marauders can get a whole ton of time hitting them. Yeah, that worked way better than what I did last time. Last time I used Guardian Shell, which is a useful ability, but not that good. I mean, not as good as using those Archons to let him close. Yeah, wow. That was loads better. Before, I think I lost like 5 guys in this round. So only losing 1. Massive difference. Okay, up here in the top left, we have Thors. Specifically, Thors in their Javelin Missile Launcher version. Then the top right, we have a bunch of siege tanks. And then the bottom right, we have some battle cruisers. And then for my units, we have some carriers, some Void Rays, some Immortals, and a High Templar. So I'm going to send the carriers up to fight the Thors. Because with their Javelin missile launchers, they don't do very much damage to... massive units or armored units. Alright, and then these Immortals, I'm going to send to the siege tanks. Now, this is just a thing very specifically for this challenge. Under most conditions, Immortals against siege tanks, Immortals are pretty good against siege tanks, but they're not great. But in this version, they have an ability called Hardened Shields, which reduces the incoming damage. And when it's siege tanks, where each shot they do is like 50 damage, let's look. 25 damage for these ones, and then when they're sieged up, it's 50 damage. It's better. It's a massive decrease in damage. And then the Void Rays are a lot better when they attack a single target, like these guys with their big health. And then I'm going to send the High Templar over here. I think the battlecruisers are the scariest. And because this is based off of Wings of Liberty. And so battlecruisers in Wings of Liberty use energy for their abilities and not just a cooldown. And so you can feedback them. Alright, now we can begin. With the carriers, you're just going to attack and use pullback micro for when a carrier gets too damaged. And unlike the other units in this game... Oh man, I should have spread these out. Unlike the other units in this game where you can kind of send them back in after you've pulled them out, it's a lot harder to send in carriers after you've pulled them out. I don't know how well this fight is going, frankly. And then I think, yeah, be able to make it through this without losing any carriers. Okay, so the Immortals, you're going to want to go in. Some of the siege tanks will siege up, and some of them won't. So you're going to go in and bait out the ones that aren't going to siege up. So then you can fight those separately from the ones that are going to siege up. As soon as your Immortals' shields deplete, you're going to want to retreat with them. And it's good to pull back enough that you're not worried about walking into the range of their siege fire. And then I would sit back a little bit, let them regain some shields. Once they start to regain shields, they can regain them pretty fast, so you shouldn't have to wait super long. And then once they're about halfway up in shields, you can send them back in. And, you know, try to spread them if you can. And then just, again, same thing. Same thing. It's a lot of the same stuff. A lot of pulling back your... Oh, pulling back your weakened guys. Letting the other ones take the fight. And one loss. That's definitely acceptable. I will happily accept one loss. Okay, so you're going to tell them all to attack, but then take control of this High Templar. Because High Templar in this game are a little dumb? I don't want to say they're dumb. Oh, shoot. No. No, shoot. Oh, yikes. I'm not doing good. Yeah, that was pretty bad. I could, if I'd controlled the Void Rays better, I could have done it without losing any of them, I think. But losing 3A in this round is not bad. It's definitely, like, it's still totally doable. Alright, send... Oh, yikes. In the top, we have a battlecruiser, and then 5 Vikings. Over here, we have a bunch of Hellions and several Reapers. And then over here, we have some Marauders and a bunch of Siege Tanks. So, if we go over here to these units, we have Immortals, which are going to be pretty good against Marauders and Siege Tanks. We have some Archons, which are also pretty good against Immortals and Siege Tanks. Just because, so, if we go over here to Marauders, they do a lot of bonus damage to Armored. Siege Tanks do quite a bit of bonus damage to Armored. Archons, not Armored. It's very nice. So if you put them in the front, and then the Immortals can hit really hard, because both Siege Tanks and Immortals are Armored, and Immortals do a lot of bonus damage against Armored. Very nice. Okay. The Zealots come over here, because once the Vikings land, the Zealots can swarm them and take care of them. Then the Stalkers come over here to deal with the Battlecruiser.
He shall be as orange. I am the voice of the eclipse.
Okay, and now we have our Phoenix and our Colossus, which come over here. Interestingly enough, Phoenix Colossi is a rather common unit composition. Where do I want my sentry? I think we want... Where do I want the sentry? What do I want? We'll send him over here along with the High Templar.
We are
not sure what the Phoenix are supposed to do. I'll be honest here. I'm not totally sure what they're supposed to do. Maybe I should bring them over here. Just pick up some siege tanks. Nah, we'll do it this way. We'll do it this way.
You require my skills.
Okay, so we wanna poke with one stalker
We are one.
to make the Vikings land,
For the reckoning, I am the heart.
and then we can just attack wholesale. And my zealots should be able to take care of the Vikings pretty easily. And then you want to have them run so they don't die. And then just use some good blink micro, good blink back micro, and we'll do it. Oh wow, 2 losses. I thought I made it without any. I'll be honest here. Okay, so here you're gonna send the Phoenix in and just have him lift up 4 things. Die Templar. You're gonna make sure he doesn't die, and you're just gonna cast 2 storms. Right? It's all it takes. And then just kind of micro back your guys. I didn't even use my sentry's abilities, but I didn't need to. Okay, here you're gonna want to make sure your Archons are in the front, so your mortals don't take any bonus damage, because they are armored. Your mortals are armored. So go attack, and all of the siege tanks are gonna siege up. So retreat, and make the immortals, make the marauders come to you, where you can kill them, and then retreat, and make the siege tanks come to you. And then pull back your immortals as they lose their shields. And there you go, 9 losses. It's a bit of a rough round. Okay, so that's the Path of Ascension done. And now we have For the Swarm. Alright, and then this one's just the Zerg version of the other 2. And I'm going to, again, skip the beginning thing. It's just saying the same thing. Okay, so over here we have a bunch of Colossi. 5 Colossi? Up here, in the middle position, we have an Immortal. Single Immortal. And over here, we have several Void Rays. So, looking over here, we only have one group of units that can hit air, so we're going to send them to deal with the Void Rays. Then Immortals deal a bunch of bonus damage against armored units, and so we don't want to send the Ultralisks against them. And also Colossi deal a bunch of bonus... Let's see. No, they don't. Forgot. This version doesn't do bonus damage against light. But they attack in an area, so we don't want to send the Zerglings against them. So we're going to go send the Zerglings over here to fight against the Immortal. And then the Ultralisks can go and fight these guys. Now, the Ultralisks, you're going to want to spread out against the Colossi, because that way they don't get hit by... You don't have multiple of them getting hit by one Colossi, because Colossi do area damage in a line. So maybe 2 of them will get hit, but at least not all of them will get hit. If you have them all clumped up, they will all get hit. Oh, right. The Infestor. I always forget about the Spellcasters. I'm going to bring him over here just so he can Neural Parasite the Immortal and make him not work. So then my Zerglings can kill him without losing any of them. Alright, the Ultralisks, you're just going to use the classic burrow ambush technique, where you unburrow them as the... So the enemy units come close, you unburrow, and then pull back the wounded Ultralisks, and then you'll be able to deal with them. I mean, this is a really good fight for Ultralisk versus Colossus is a good fight, especially because Colossus. Let's see. Yeah, because Colossus are about the same cost as an Ultralisk. So even if you don't control them, if you have Ultralisks fighting Colossi straight on, that's really good for you. And then over here, I'm gonna try to form a concave before they come, because concaves are the most powerful shapes for this game. And then I'm just gonna burrow the ones that they attack them. Oh shoot. I've lost 2 of them already. Burrow. No. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. This is not good. Lost 3 units. Okay. That is manageable. When I did this before, I think I only lost like 6 of them. So over here we have some zealots. Then in the middle's part we have some void rays. Okay. And then we have some stalkers. Alright, let's see what we've got. We've got a couple of ultralisks, several roaches, and some mutalisks. So the mutalisks are the only things that can hit the void rays. So we're gonna send the mutalisks over there. Send them right there. And then we have the roaches to fight the zealots. And they can burrow move, which is cool. Not super useful in this situation, but it's very cool. Then the Ultralisks are going to go take out the Stalkers, because Ultralisks also do area damage. And in this one, we are going to set up another burrow ambush. It's something Ultralisks are really good at, because they're melee ranged, and they're beefy enough to be able to deal with the attacks when they're coming. Let's see. Yeah, we'll bring the Infestor over here, I think. Although fungal growth would be really good. No, I think I can do the roaches without losing any. You just want to stutter step your roaches, and also remember to burrow them. Use burrow to your advantage. Oh my gosh, I just killed my own guy. When some of them get damage enough, we'll drop them, bring back up. And then they won't be able to kill the Spire. You could leave them down there for longer, and they would... Man, that is so sad. They would have all survived, except I accidentally attacked it, so... Attacked my own guy. Betrayal. Terrible of me. And then we're going to kind of let them hang out here, let the infested Terran start taking the brunt of the attacks, and then send in the Mutalisks. Apparently they just kind of, like, ignore infested Terrans, which, to be fair, probably the best thing. Alright, we lost 1 unit, okay. And we shouldn't lose either of these Ultralisks. If I control it well, I shouldn't lose any of them. Oh no! I did not control that well. That was embarrassing. Quite frankly, that's pretty sad. Okay. Should be able to win this, though. Either way, not a super big deal. Alright, round 3. Over here we have some Stalkers and Immortals. Over here we have some Archons and Zealots. Okay, and over here we have some Carriers. Alright, let's look at what we've got. Corruptors are the only things that can shoot up, and they also only shoot up. And by shoot up, I just mean shoot air. So, Whoa. Well, I should keep that in mind. I'm not going to be useful in any of these other battles. Alright, let's look. We have a bunch of Ultralisks. And they are not going to do well against even a couple of Mortals. And that means nah. These guys are for the Archon Zealot. The Archons and Zealots. And then the Broodlords, I think, are for the Stalker Immortal. And then the Roaches are for wherever I want to send them. I'm going to send them over here because I don't want them to die. That's the real reason I'm sending over there. Because if I send them against the Immortal Stalker Ball, I think they die. And then the Infestor, we're going to send over here. Yeah, we'll use Fungal Growth or something like that. I can use all these burrowed. Okay. Maybe I'll just use Infested Terrans or something. I'm not sure. There we go. Alright, that'll work. And now I think I've pretty much won this one. Yeah. Broodlords are annoying to deal with. I tell you, man, they are really darn good. Especially when they've got a nice distractionary force in front of them. Good stuff. I mean, they are weak to air. They're not without weaknesses, but they are good units. And then here, we don't really have the ability to, doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to kite in this situation here. I mean, no, to do pullback. Oh, wow. Okay, I did the wrong guy. I meant to do the guy that had 1 health. I did the other guy. So apparently they have this really useful ability called Corruption. And then it makes him take extra damage or something like that. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, alright, that's pretty good, Although I did lose 2 of the guys that I used it with. That's so weird. Corruptors nowadays don't have that. Alright, so that is the Zerg one, and that is all of them. I think you should give them a try. If you're maybe new to the game, you could. You don't expect to be able to get silver or gold. If you have a bit more experience, go ahead and try out, see what the best you can do is, right? And they're kind of just a fun way to have a challenge. So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.